Plumbing for residential use. One may have been near or around the hot water heater, and you may have seen something, uh, some type of gadget like this protruding from your hot water heater. There are male threads here. I'm not certain. It seems like it may be 3/4 inch male threads. Then it's got a 3/4 inch female thread in this side, so you can put a hose barb or PVC or CPVC, whatever type of fitting, to drain it off. But if you've ever seen one of these on your hot water heater, to the average plumber, this is elementary, and so this is a no-brainer to the average plumber. But if a homeowner, if you come up to this and you start to see water drip, 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 or even maybe kind of a small stream of water progressively coming out of this TMP valve, okay, first, TMP, that may stand for temperature and pressure. So if the temperature, it's to protect you. If your temperature gets too high or your pressure gets too high, say hypothetically, if the pressure gets too high, this little flapper thing here may open up a little bit, and it may have something like a spring-loaded thing in here, as one can see in here. And if this opens up, if I actually, I don't know, it's tough to push it, but basically, but what this would do, this would allow the pressure, and say for instance, the pressure would drain, and then the water would drain from here. So it would, my opinion is, it may act kind of like a quasi-safety valve. I'm not sure if the temperature and the pressure got too high. So if you see this now, sometimes these are mounted on top of the hot water heater. Sometimes they're on the side of the hot water heater. And I'm not sure if that's electric or gas. If you have a, say, an electric, and you see this on the side, but it's tough to say. Now, if they're on the side and this valve goes bad, occasionally they do go bad, but my opinion is it's not very often. However, if it does go bad and you have to replace it, and if this is on the side, you may have to drain the water. You may have to drain the water level from the bottom of the tank lower than this. Otherwise, when you pull this out, water's going to come gushing out of this hole. So, and you do not want this, in my opinion. But so this is a TMP valve. This is temperature and pressure. If the temperature gets too high or the pressure gets too high, it's a relief valve so that it can relieve itself. And because if pressure builds too high, the pressure has to go somewhere. So now the cooler the temperature, it may, if the water temperature cools down, that it may not, I'm not certain on that. You'd have to check with the engineers, but the pressure may not be as high. But the more the water heats, the more perhaps, I'm not sure if it expands, but it needs a place to go. And this valve here, the TMP valve, will allow this to allow the water to escape out of here. So basically, with this TMP valve, this is a temperature and pressure. If the temperature and pressure gets too high, now sometimes if it leaks out of here, you can jimmy the little lever on top and open it up and let it drain for a second and reset it, and sometimes it will be fine. For instance, if you did like so, if you did like that, and then allowed the water, whatever excess, drain out, and then you turned around and then you flapped it back down there, you may be okay. But if you continuously have problems, you may need to change it. Now, to be honest with you, my opinion is that this is not a thing that goes. Well, my opinion is I haven't changed too many of these, but occasionally you'll run across them and they do go bad. But notwithstanding, if you see this on your hot water heater protruding out, this part would be screwed into the hot water heater. This would be the entrance to the water, exit to the water, and you wonder what this little gadget is. It may be called a TMP valve, temperature and pressure. If the temperature gets too high or the pressure gets too high, it's a relief valve to release it. So, and then you've got a little lever here if you want to manually release it as well. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.